Mic check. Mic check. Mic check. Damn, why am I mute? Mic check. Morning Discord, morning YouTube. Let's get into it. Okay, so pre-market action, slight move up. There was really interesting news on AMD this morning. AMD went up 25% overnight. So, yeah. Unexpected. My strike blown. Strike blown, so they're probably going to take their shares. Let's see what they do. Anyways, back to the action. We're here to talk about SPY. Okay, look at the 30 minute. 30 minute, you see all these pinks? It's because it's hectic, right? That's why. So, it is what it is. This is the main, this wide from 69 to 72. This is our main pink ranger. But I think our micro pink ranger is somewhere in here, and it's tight, right? We're in a tight range, so that's all I got to say about that. You see the range we're in currently. So the 5MA is at 68, so we're gonna look for puts below the break and retest of the 5MA. So if the price, whenever, does this when the 5 is here, that's what we're going to look for puts. This is the safety put scenario, and that's the answer. For calls, I see a secondary liquidity up here. All right. We're in this purple until we're not. I know the puts look juicy. Let's check the 30 minutes says we're still technically in our bull cycle, so we need to let that close. We need to let those legs close before we start thinking in direction. On the 5 minute, we're testing purple on the 5 minute now. Same on the 1 minute. Let's just be patient. Let's let the market figure out what it wants to do. AMD just made a lot of move. Well, are we still in a government shutdown, I believe? Government shutdown, market at all-time highs. Yeah, everything makes sense today. Everything makes perfect sense today. This is why you can't have a bias. This is why you cannot have a bias. You sold KDK when it just broke out? Okay. Well, as long as you made some money. Hopefully you made money on KDK. Well, AMD, it was fun while it lasted. The strike got blown so crazy. Yeah, fun while it lasted, AMD. Man, I've been holding AMD for years now, and that just blew my strike, and now I'm not paying that. 25%, no way. All right, back to the action. All right, so we broke purple. Let's wait a couple cycles here. I want to wait to make sure that the macro algo is not the pre-market. I want to make sure if it's, we need to make sure. I know those puts look juicy right now. I know those puts look juicy right now. Just be patient. Let's let the market figure itself out. I'm still here. I'm just going to be quiet. Okay, so it looks like we're heading into bottom liquidity box. Maybe we're going to test a 5. All right, now let's look at our 30-minute really quick. If this green breaks, excuse me, because we might be forming a momentum candle. So we definitely gotta wait for this candle to close. Let's see if it forms some type of momentum candle, or maybe might buy it back up. Let's see what happens here. Anyways, like I was gonna say, if this MACD is gonna cross, we need to identify the microstructure that will happen to enable that. So that's what we're trying to do right now. So we need to be patient to see, because we don't know. All right, those juicy puts. Those juicy puts. We're in the bottom lick box. What we want to look for is for an entry. Let's look for this. All right, the 5-minute pink ranger hit. 5-minute pink ranger. Let's see, from 70.75 to, yeah, this is a winner. This 5-minute pink ranger winner. The micro pink ranger I was telling you about, winner. If you took that pink ranger, be done for the day. Be done for the day. All right, I think most of us are sitting out waiting for more data, which is fine. That's a good thing. Man, there's no, I'm not buying back the AMD contract. There's no way. It's thousands of dollars in the money. There's no way. Yeah, well, it was fun, AMD. We had a good time. I held on to AMD so long, expecting like a reasonable coast up, and today happened, and then just took everything. All my hopes and dreams gone. Thank you, AMD. Oh man. All right, so let's look for this setup for puts, or minimum for puts. I think break, retest, reject under the 5 is still going to be your safety puts no matter what. We might get a cross on the 30-minute MACD. Looking like it wants to. Look like it wants to do that. I'm just going to clean up the chart just a bit, just so we can see what's going on. So let's take a screenshot. So we're far below the water on the 1 minute. Let's see if we get a weak bull cycle here. If you don't know what a weak bull cycle means, you got to join the Discord. Send me an email, LiveSPYTrading@gmail.com. I'll get you sorted. My Discord is fully aware of what a weak bull cycle means and how to use it to our advantage. Okay. Okay. All right, let's see if we're gonna use this purple again. It's such a tight range. This is gonna be tough. Let's see what happens. Okay, let's see if we're going to test a 5. We're below the water on the 5. The legs might be opening up. 30-minute looks like it's testing to cross. So if this does cross, what's the microstructure need to look like? Maybe it's gonna look like a bolt. Maybe we'll see that's if it goes down, right? Maybe we'll see this. You forgot about that? But either way, we broke this top liquidity box. We entered the bottom liquidity box. Now how you manage it inside here, that's on you. Calls have to be somewhere above 72.15. Calls have to be above there. And then even if it does get above 72.15, then you can only risk the reward to all-time high. All right, so we had our week. Maybe, we'll see. It's not completed yet. This one was supposed to be a 2. Hold on. This is a 2 because we're in a tight range. Don't front run anything. I'm not a big fan of having these two levels, right? I don't know why I put them both here, but they're both here, so I'm not a big fan of it. Okay, let's see. Remember, your safety puts are going to be break, retest, reject underneath the 5, right? That's always going to be a thing. Your safety puts, your higher probability puts underneath the 5. I think now we're testing to see if we want to, if the price wants to touch the 5 in the first place. About to find out. I just moved the that purple. Sorry. That's where it should have been. I don't know if that's gonna help, but that's where it should have been. I'm sorry. Let's look at the higher time frame. Got some room on the 5. It looks like we crossed on the 30. So the question is, did that microstructure play out? Did the microstructure cross, right? Did that microstructure cross play out? This price action is kind of crazy, but let's see what happens. Okay. Let's say, oh no, because I moved it. So let's say from 93 to 59, from 93 where the original purple was to 59. This is a winner. This is a winner. Protect your trade if you want to. Protect your trade if you want. This is a winner. Don't overstay your welcome. Take your money if you want to. You see how the market is acting funny. 30-minute cross, 5-minute. I don't know if you're looking at the 5-minute chart, but this is the only thing I had up. The only possibility was this 5-minute chart, right? We got off the 5-minute, right? This was the only option on our 5-minute chart. I didn't even give you another way to think. I never gave you another way to think. You just needed to, you know, play it how you wanted to play it. All right, take your money. Don't worry, take your money. But you know the other strategy, right? The exit is guardrail, other thing. That's fine. Take your money. Nothing wrong with that. We got all day. We do it every day. We do it every day. If you're interested in learning how to trade like this, send me an email, LiveSPYTrading@gmail.com. I'm going to get you sorted out. We do safe day trades. We don't risk a lot. Right? We don't like to take risk. I'm going to go ahead and, you know, wait for my exits, which is going to be either break a blue or if the cross of the MACD. So either one. Those are going to be my exits, whatever happens. All right, let's see if we get a strong momentum candle here. Watch out for this. Look. Otherwise, let's see if we keep rejecting underneath this purple to keep the party going. Give me 1 second, I'll be right back. Okay, that just gave me another bite at the apple, so I held. Now I can protect the trade. If it doesn't work from here, then I'm gonna be out, right? But now I can protect the trade because I saw the rejection of this purple again. I held just a little bit. Now my trade's protected. I can't lose, so we'll see what happens. You see that second bite of the apple I'm always talking about? See, I got another bite at the apple. That's why I told you I'm gonna put my stop where it needs to be. Win, lose, or draw. I'm just gonna, whatever happens, happens. I'm not gonna be mad about it. Trade protected, I can't lose, so now I can just let it run, see what happens. Trade protected. If you keep, if you're taking a trade and you keep moving your stop, I don't know what to tell you. Stop doing that. Okay. Okay. Excuse me. This inverse head and shoulder, that's only if the price gets up here. We take right shoulders and handles. We don't head. That's on you, right? That's the risk. This is the play, not the head. It's always going to be the right shoulder or the handle. It's always going to, let me make this clear. It's always going to be a right shoulder or a handle. If you're taking the head, that's the risky play. There are certain instances where we're oversold or overbought and you can make that play, but otherwise no. It's always the right shoulder. It's never down here. I'm telling you what to look out for. I'm saying if we get a strong momentum candle and we see this, then we need to see a retracement. So all of that needs to happen before it calls. So if you're down here trying to look for calls, it's up here somewhere. This dance needs to happen. And if this exact dance doesn't happen, then that's not the setup. All right, now my trade that I took from purple, I survived the retracement. Now it's in profit. Look at the money we just printed. So this is saying what to look out for. If you're looking for call entries for a scalp inside of between lick boxes, it's here. That's what I'm saying. Not here. It has to do this. All right? We need to see the dance. Excuse me, I'm back. We need to see the dance. Sorry, I'm not feeling too well. I don't know, I get morning sickness, man. What the hell? Trade. I mean, look. This is all profit. So, do you understand, Ron, what I'm saying? Correct. I'm still in puts because we broke, retested, rejected. There's a couple entries you could have had here, but yes. I'm gonna clean this chart up because I think it's doing more harm than good at this point. So I think at the time I had, here I'll show you, I had this purple here for the entry. So even if you were to get in on this purple, you still made money, right? Let's see, from 93. Yeah. Okay, look here. Now look here. This is what I was talking about. If this and this and this, see what I'm talking about? If we have a strong momentum candle, then wait for this. This is what I'm talking about, Ron. If this happens. So that's why all of this needs to happen first, because what you have to watch out for, the reason why you need the dance to look similar to this, watch, I'll show you. You need the dance because you have to watch out for so it needs to have this little dance right here. I took what I could. I got all of that one though. I got all of that. Now we wait for the next setup. Again. So this is going to be our 50-50. You got a 50-50 shot if the price gets here. Okay, now I see why I had these key levels here. Now we're kind of still below the water here, so on the 1 minute. Let's see what the 5 minute says. 5 minutes says we might be closing up this bear cycle. 30 minutes still has some strength to the down. Let me, I'm gonna clean up this chart just a bit. Watch. Let's just be patient. Everything's gonna get a lot easier in a little bit. Just wait a little bit. If you didn't take any trades, that's fine. Wait. It's gonna get way easier in a little bit. We just need a little more data, so be patient. We need to identify our macro. So we're waiting to identify the macro. I'm telling you what we're waiting for. So at this point here, we haven't really, in a longer term sense, like in a more, you know what, I'm just gonna wait for it to happen. That's what we're gonna do. I'm not gonna fill you guys up with too much information to look out for and watch this and trying to make you predict things 20 minutes in the future. So, okay. Okay. We're testing this yellow. We're testing the yellow. I'm gonna clean up this chart just a little bit. It's just there. So we're still at the 50-50. Be patient. Be patient. Be patient. Yeah. Oftentimes you'll realize, you know, you're not late on the move after all. And again, we're still testing this yellow here. It's a tricky one. It's dancing right on this 50-50. Okay. Okay. If you're looking for an entry, if you're not already in a position, maybe a week bear cycle or something. If you don't know what a week bear cycle means, you got to join the Discord. Send me an email, LiveSPYTrading@gmail.com. I'll get you sorted out. Okay, so look, this circle right here is a 50-50. Oh, excuse me, hold on. This circle's a 50-50, meaning at this area, it's a 50-50 shot. Because there's two things we're looking out for. The two things we're looking out for is this or the inverse head and shoulders. So this is a 50-50 shot. You got a 50-50 shot here. I mean, essentially, they're all 50-50 shots, right? But essentially, they're all 50-50. Because you can either buy a call or a put. But we're above the water, so we'll see how it goes. So to answer your question, I don't know if you're in calls or puts because this is a 50-50. We don't know. This lick box is a 50-50. Man, this 30-minute candle. I don't know. I don't know. Look at this 30-minute candle. Okay. All right. Heavy liquidity up in here, huh? Okay, this was an extremely awkward hold for me, so I'm able to protect my trade now. So whatever happens from here, I don't care. I did not like this. This was uncomfortable. But trade protected, so whatever happens, don't care. Okay, I'll be right back. Don't overtrade. This candle just stopped me out for for fees, so yeah, it stopped me out for fees. Let's look for a breakup purple to the 2. 5-minute chart, 30-minute. So on the 30-minute, you'd think momentum candle, and then like the pullback to retest like this. That's what it looks like it wants to do. So I think break of this purple's good liquidity buildup. Guess we're about to find out. I took yellow. I got filled on here. Let me show one of these green candles here, and I held. I protected it, and then this candle stopped me out. So if I need to get back in, I will. I put entries probably somewhere underneath 69.65. For puts, we need all this liquidity to be taken out. Let's look to see a build in orange and then break of purple for puts. And then for calls, give me a second. Okay, I believe blue to be our macro. Yellow hasn't formed yet. I'll wait till it forms. Clean the chart just a bit. problem is I don't like this purple too much, but this is all we have to go off of, so we're gonna have to use it. This is side chop. This is ugly price action. Wait for below purple or if they close this cup. Yeah, I think orange and purple are building up good liquidity now. So we're gonna either look for that. This sideways chop, don't get caught in it. I did. I was able to luckily get out with just paying fees. So it's 50-50 still here. Let's look at the 30-minute chart. 30 minutes says we got room for the down. 5 minutes says we might be starting a bull cycle. 1 minute sideways. I'm starting to wonder if we're gonna see this right here. Yeah, I believe orange is the macro, which is lining up with blue. If the 30-minute has a weak bear, then it's going to go sideways. We're in such a tight range here. This is tough to trade. Not every day is a trading day, so might be today. Yeah, I believe I put a range in the analysis. There should be a range in the analysis for today. One of these two things is going to happen, so. Yeah, they're just playing games in here. They're playing games. Nothing you can do about that. I'm about to move this purple to a 3 I'm about to move this purple here to a 3. I want to see some microstructure in it. Let's see if something like that plays out within the purple. So build an orange, break a purple for the puts. This yellow still hasn't presented itself again. So I think this orange is gonna hold a lot of weight. So there's nothing to do in the side chop. Calls somewhere above here, highlighted too, right? Somewhere above here, safety calls, break, retest, reject of the 5 for safety puts. That's the answer. Otherwise, you're in chop. And if that's not good enough for you, then you're here to risk money. If you want to scalp on the way to each direction, that's on you. You can do that too. Or scalp within this range, that's on you. You see, we're in a range. Clearly, we're in a tight range here. I believe this blue to hold a lot of liquidity in this blue. If the blue does break on the 5 minute, look for this. This 50-50 is still, this 50-50 lick box is still holding up. So no one knows what's gonna happen. Gotta wait. It'll break to one side or the other. I don't know when, but I know what's gonna happen. Hopefully by then I'm gonna have another yellow. I think I like this yellow. Maybe on a micro we see little cup handle up. Let's see if it rejects off of purple. Or stays in the orange rather. Yeah, this orange, which overlays with this blue, holds a lot of liquidity. It's gonna get easier from here. about to get a lot easier. If you're looking for puts and you're hoping for this inverse cup and handle, you got to watch out for the double bottom here. One bottom, two bottoms, you got to watch out for that. So now you know. Risk to reward. Measure it. I'm gonna mark out low a day. I'm just gonna use this one for low a day. This is sideways chop. I know we're looking for the best entry because we don't want to deal with retracement. We'd just rather get in early and not deal with the retracement. I get it. This is the risk of day trading. We've identified chop. We have identified a very tight range for the day. Maybe today's not a trading day. I took little profit here and I took loss of fees here, so not really anything to write home about. Yeah, I would call it a loss because I didn't cover the fees, so I consider that a loss. But what I didn't do, I didn't panic. I allowed some movement so I can at least set a reasonable stop to get at least those the break even and only have to pay the fees. So we did something right today, managing risk. And the reason why I was okay with taking that was because if it didn't work, I knew my stop was reasonable, and you can't win them all, right? Can't win them all. It's not a thing. There's no 100%. We just go off probabilities. And this is, let's look at the, yeah, volume kind of fell off a cliff. No real volume here. This blue's holding up. Okay, so I'd have to call the break of yellow a winner because, let's see, if you got in on the yellow, 37 to 94, that's more than 30 cents. So break of yellow has to be a win. You just needed a hold for the retracement. It was tough and it was ugly, but break of yellow was a win. Now we're testing the top of this lick box. If you're looking for puts, remember, it's build in orange and then break purple. Yeah, if you took break of yellow, I mean, you had plenty of time to protect the trade, so break of yellow has to be a winner. We're in chop. You don't always need to be in a trade. Wait for one of the things to happen. Above 72.15 for a short win, or below break and retest of the 5. If you're not comfortable with dealing in chop, then that's the answer. I tried to time my luck on this green one on the 57 candle, and I don't know what I was doing, but it didn't fill. So it filled me somewhere in here, so I didn't get a really good fill on this, but I guess the trade's protected, so yeah, I'm just gonna keep it a little tight because I got a bad fill. This is a bad fill. I've filled on the 58 candle, like at the top of the 58 candle. So this is a bad fill, and I'm just hoping for something. Okay, I can cover my fees now. Profit. Now I just gotta play it cool, see what happens. Can't lose from here. Right, the put scenario was on the break of purple. Yeah, I had a really bad fill. I was trying to hit this red one because I like to get filled on the red, but that didn't happen. And then I don't know what happened. It just, I don't know, I was messing around too much. And then I finally got filled in here. I got a bad fill, but better late than never. So we're gonna see what happens from here. Break a yellow, big winner. So we only had 2 setups here. One of them was yellow, the other one was purple. So purple never happened. Yellow was the only thing that happened. So that's it. Excuse me. I got chopped up in here for fees. I got back in on the 58 candle. It's hard to be wrong twice in a row. But I'm trading very light. Yeah. I'm doing very light contracts, so. All right, so nothing to do here but let it play out. See how much we can get out of it. See how much we can get out of it. Let's go. Let's go. All right, finally. Let's print some money. Okay, finally. Let's print some money. Here we go. Jeez. Don't overstay your welcome. Tight range. We're back in this lick box now. Okay, I'm gonna put my stop. I'm gonna get up, walk away, because me sitting here trying to be twitchy is not gonna help. So I'll be right back. Look, we can't lose from here. If you took break of yellow, you held for the retracement, good on you. I personally got chopped up, that's fine. Went back in, can't be wrong twice in a row, because our put entry was on purple. So you know, the puts had to be on purple. This one here with the 2. Okay, now I'm gonna get up and walk away. I'll be right back. Okay, I lied. We're in a tight range. I need to pay attention to this. We're in a tight range. I need to pay attention. I'm not going to walk away. Hold on. I got to pay attention to this. I'm here. I'm just going to be quiet. I'm here. Okay. Look at the money. Okay, here we go. Man, it's slow. It's hard. Today's a rough day. Today's a rough day. They're not giving us like the moves that we want. You just got to like sit on your hands for a long time. Okay, now we're making some profit. So what I get 58 can't. I got a horrible fill, man. I wanted to get in. I promise I was trying to get this red candle and it just didn't. I don't know. And then I was fumbling around in the brokerage between these 2 minutes here, and then finally it was able to fill. I got a bad fill. Not a horrible fill, but I think I could have done better. I'm gonna blame the brokerage. I'm gonna blame the brokerage on that, or computer lag or something. Okay, made some money though. Hard to be wrong twice in a row. If you're interested in learning how to trade like this, send me an email, LiveSPYTrading@gmail.com. I'll get you sorted out. Oh man. Yeah, I'm chasing this. I'm not gonna let it go too far against me. I don't really care. Not in this tight range. I'm not gonna let it breathe too much. I'm still here. I'm just being quiet. All right, so remember, we like to take right shoulders and handles. That's what we like to take. Look at the, all right, now we're printing money. Look at the money we printed. All right. Trade protected with good profit now. Now we got good profit here. Here we go. Jeez, took a little bit. Took a little bit, what we got here. We got here. We stuck to the strategy. Can't be wrong twice in a row. We had a 50-50 here. Can't be wrong twice in a row. It's just, it's hard. When you only have a 50-50 shot, how are you going to be wrong twice? You see what I'm saying? It's really hard to be wrong twice in a row. You have a 50-50 shot. Very hard. Also, our put entry wasn't until purple. So this purple down here was our put entry. Worst case scenario, you could have used this blue, right? This blue would have been your trigger. Excellent trade. Excellent trade. Just had to be patient. Man, this is messing me up in here, but we're good now. Now we printed money. There we go. Stuck to the strategy. It works. That's the answer. Strategy works. It's proven. You just have to have the fortitude to follow it through. And this has taken me over a year, over a year to be comfortable with that, to be comfortable with the discomfort. That's what it is. You got to be comfortable with the discomfort. And then you see why, because the reward is on the other side. Because doing the easy thing is not valuable. Doing the hard thing is the valuable thing. Sitting and holding your trade is the hard thing. I'm going to move my stop. I'm going to start I'm going to start tightening my stop. I hope we get another push up to the top of this lick box here. Hoping for a weak bear cycle here. I'm not going to overstay my welcome, that's for sure. I'm not going to overstay my welcome. Okay. All right, I'll be back. Don't overtrade. This orange is holding up really well. This orange is holding up really well. Let's see if it forms a weak bear cycle here. Maybe still dancing inside purple. Purple has a 3. If we start trading back inside this purple range right here, look out for this. If we start getting in here, then you need to look out for the dance inside before it goes out, okay? Today's gonna be a slow moving day. Yeah, I wasn't willing to wait for the second bite on this one. So I took it somewhere in this red candle. Well, I didn't want to hold for the second bite. Also because, you know, people have that fear of like, okay, let me secure money, you know, so that's a thing. Let me secure money while I got it. Take a screenshot of this. Remember this. I'm gonna clean up the chart. Okay, second bite of the apple. That may be it. So I'm not too upset that I got stopped out here. I'm not upset. I follow my strategy. I'm not upset about it. And if it shoots up from here, then it shoots up. That was the risk I was willing to take. So that's all the risk I was willing to take, I should say. I wasn't willing to take any more risk just because I see the tight range, you know. For calls, for safety calls, again, something like that. I'm gonna spend another few minutes here with you all, and then I'll set you up for the rest of the day. Just give me a moment. I'm gonna clean up the chart just a bit. Looks hectic. All right. Look, I told you this blue has all the power in it. This blue is the macro. Remember, I've been telling you this since I put it. Since 1040. Okay. All right, maybe some weakness coming in. Now, if we get below 70.24, this is going to be invalid. So this is still valid until we break under 70.24. Right? Don't front run it. You have your, look, it's highlighted for you already. Don't front run it. Maybe a week, what is this, bear cycle here? Still inside of this orange. This is tough to trade in, right? Yeah, volume's really low. This orange has all the power. The inverse head and shoulder, or the micro cup and handle, absolute winner. I mean, technically this is still a winner from the break of yellow. Break of yellow for the up. It never went below the water, still above the water. Again, let's go over this play again. Entry was on break of yellow. If you held for retracement, still inside orange, you're fine. The put scenario was purple. So we only had call scenarios. The put scenario was always purple. All right, let's see what we got. Okay. So just be patient. One of these things is going to happen. It's either going to break this purple for puts, or it's going to BRR 72.15. Okay, I have to start getting ready in the background, but I'm gonna keep checking on this. Okay. Okay. All right, I'm gonna be here in the background. Okay, let's see what we got going on. Let's see. See how much we're gonna get out of this. Okay, I played this one a little risky. If it breaks this right here, then I'm stopped out. And then I'll probably be done for the day. I know the entry was on purple, but I did a little side hustle, little side quest. It's about to stop me out. I'm here. I'm just being quiet. Side quest did not pay off. Wait for your confirmation on purple. This is still in play until we get below, what did I say? I think I said 20. Yeah, 24 it should be. Or yeah, purple's a 3. Purple is a 3. And this is why we like the right shoulder. That's why. This cup most likely gonna close. See the cup? We never formed another yellow. Another yellow never formed, so. And then I believe, let me see something. So in the event that the yellow does form, you want to build in yellow and break teal. That's the answer. Oops. We need to wait for a yellow to form. Another yellow, it never formed. This is the only yellow. So preferably what you want to see is maybe a yellow form right here. Maybe a blue right here. This would be ideal. Still above the water. Never went below the water. From the break of yellow, which was actually coincided with the break above the zero line. Yeah, the break of yellow coincided exactly with above the zero line. And then it never went below the water. It just stayed above. Okay, I'm going to be getting ready in the background. I'll be right back. I'm going to mark out the thick white lines with the 2. These are the high a day and low a day. We can see the volume picked up right around here. Low volume, volume starting to pick up right here. So let's recap. The only put scenarios we had today was going to be break retest underneath the 5 or this purple. Those were only put scenarios we had today. The call scenarios were either the break of this yellow, which we tested. So this was a test. Then we had this show up. We also noted that unless the price gets below 70.24, that this bolt up is still in play, right? Unless we get below 70.24. I'm not sure why I said 24. I think I was giving a rough estimate around 24. It should have been 16 probably. All right, let's see if we break out or if it hits target and retraces. I'll be right back. I'm still here. I'm just being quiet. The yellow didn't form yet. I'm being preemptive, so the yellow did not form. Just be patient. We want to see if it touches exactly at 72.15. I'm going to clean up this chart really quick. I'm going to make the wins for the day. Give me one moment. Again, I'm being preemptive here. Ideally, we like it to touch 72.15 to close the cup. Let's recap really quick. On the 30-minute candle, we have this hammer, kind of hammer. That was confirmed with this. Now we're gonna see if this yellow and this teal hold up. Again, ideally we'd like to touch 72.15. I'd like to know we grab the liquidity from up here first. I'm still here, I'm just being quiet. All right, now look, is everyone paying attention? Let me make sure everyone's paying attention. All right, listen. If this breaks this teal, you got to measure risk to reward at where you are, right? You see where the liquidity is built up. So is it worth it here? If we get down here, is it worth it? And then if you get up to here, risk to reward from here to here. See it? From here to here. So you gotta go level by level. That's why you want it to dig deep, and then if it's gonna continue up, you need more liquidity build up in the down. So we want to build in yellow, build in yellow, build in yellow, and then break the teal. Now if we start trading inside of this, between these two purples, then you wait for this. So from here is going to be stress-free trading, because you know what the setups are. Build in yellow, break this teal, measure risk to reward, right? Measure risk to reward. If it breaks right here, you know, is it worth it to target this right here, or are we going to target 72.15? Or is it going to reject off this teal and continue down? Which means we'd have to extend our yellow guardrail. So just be patient. One of those things is going to happen. It gets easier as time goes on. Now that we have all this data, now we know what to look out for. All right? See this? And then there's still build this. I'm gonna read your comment right now. What do you mean crap? Nothing happened. There was no setup. There was no setup yet. What do you mean? You have to wait till either purple or at least magenta. There's no setup here. Unless you took this, then yeah, you know, if you took this, then crap if you got stopped out, but you should have been in profit by now. Still inside yellow. Not the yellow. Not the yellow question mark? What do you mean not the yellow question mark? Oh, for the oh, because that was over here. No, it's teal. Build in yellow, break the teal. We had to use yellow at the time because that's all we had. We couldn't identify teal. But then afterwards I said it's gonna be build in yellow, break the teal. Just like I said, it's gonna be build in orange, break the purple. You gotta write that down. We needed the data to see what the macro was. I mean, essentially, yellow is just the riskier one because it's most likely gonna form a head. Yellow is gonna form the head or be the base for your cup. So I mean, technically it could be yellow, but the safety is gonna be on the teal. So once we have enough data, we'll know it's gonna be build in this, break this for whichever direction. Build in this, break that. So yellow should be your like hint, and then magenta should be your trigger. But we're still in yellow. So still in yellow. So if you did take the trade, then those put, you're fine because you're still in yellow. But this break also, if you were taking this break, let's say, it never closed. So there's no, it wicked. It didn't close outside of yellow. So there's still no trade because it needs to close. So here's a pattern. In the mornings, we only have what we have to go off of, right? It always takes a little more time for me to figure out the macro. So we need to figure out the macro. That's really, because until then, we're just trading inside of the macro. So we didn't know we were inside of purple until we broke this teal. Or at minimum yellow. So now you know, Ron, it's build in something. We need to build the liquidity and then break for the confirmation that the liquidity was enough to get us to the next direction. Build, break. It's always going to be a build and break. Build a something, break a something else. It has to be like that. So let's say you did take this yellow here. Let's say you just went in early. Your stop would have to be underneath the last low, right? And then you'd be hoping for a break of teal. Because remember I told you, if this teal rejects, then I'm going to have to extend this yellow. So even if you did take this one, if your stop was placed properly underneath the last low, you should be fine. You actually are broken even right now, minus fees. Even if you got the worst fill, right? At the worst possible fill, let's say you took this break of yellow, you still have, yeah. So remember, break of yellow is going to be your hint. You want, and then you have to measure your risk to reward, because if we're breaking teal here, where's the liquidity at? Right here. So you got to measure your risk to reward on this. It'd be better to have it come down deeper, so then when it does break, let's say it breaks here, which would be ideal, then you can have a little more reward. Maybe you're hoping, you know, expectation of a slightly higher reward. So you're contending between here and here, or here and here. Hopefully you get here. So even if you did take this yellow, you're in profit. So the strategy works. It still works. It's wherever you're putting your stops is that's the issue. It's not the buy orders. The buy orders have hit. It's the sell orders. All the buy orders have worked. It's where you're putting your sell orders. See, now this one wicked, it didn't close, so technically you'd have to wait for the close. Well, watch the video that I did for I think it's how to enter and exit. No, I put out a document stating exactly where your stops need to be on the break of whatever. Right? It's either you're gonna hold for retracement, or you're gonna figure out your exit strategy. If you want to use MACD, if you want to use guardrails, whatever it is. The only thing you need to figure out is where you want to put your stop, and then you gotta hold for the rodeo. Give me one moment. So look, this MACD is technically still below the water. You're gonna have to do some assessment here, right? Do you think it's likely that it has enough strength to push up above the water to get you on the break of this, what is this, teal? Look, even if you got in at the worst possible entry on the break of this teal, even if you have time to you have time to to adjust it, right? Even if you had the worst possible entry, this is where you need to figure out as a trader, am I hoping that it just goes up and never retraces, or am I holding for a retracement? This is what you need to figure out. This is the part I cannot do. You know your own risk tolerance. I don't. The legs might be spreading apart a little bit here, but I wouldn't overstay your welcome on this. I would not overstay your welcomes because it looks like we might be setting up for a bearish divergence. You see how the strategy works? It just works. It just works. You could have went super heavy, 100 contracts, and got out and been done for the day, been done for the week. I don't know how many, I don't know how your bank account's set up, but you could have been done right here if you just follow the strategy. You could be out with guaranteed profit. You just have to wait for the setup. Even if you didn't execute perfectly, look, you had all this chop right here you could have went in. Even if you didn't, you'd still be in profit. But like I said, it's impossible for me to know when your brokerage is going to fill your order, yada, yada, yada. That's impossible. If you don't already have your buys, I get it. That's for me to know when your brokerage is going to fill it, and that's impossible. I can just tell you, if it goes past this, we should be able to get something out of it. And technically, I wouldn't even consider this a win yet until it goes to, I think 95. I think this has to go to 95 for it to be a win. But did you have time to adjust and collect? Yeah, you definitely had time for that. Let me see. Yeah, I think 95. It would have to get up to this purple for me to consider that a win. Okay, good. I'm giving you an example of what ideally what we look for, right? So like I said, if you're going in here, you got to measure your risk to reward, because the resistance is literally right here. We would prefer it down here somewhere. This would be better because now you have some liquidity built up. That's what I'm saying. You got to measure risk to reward from here to here. This is what you can ask for. I literally just went over this concept. I said if it breaks here, you can only ask for this. I just went over this concept, right? It's better to let it build. Let it build. And if this is not the setup, then it's not your setup. Wait, what? No. The put was on purple. The put was on the break of purple. I have it highlighted because that's when that's the trigger, right? The put is down here. It has to be on purple. It's highlighted because the yellow is just what's happening inside of our macro. The purple's our macro, right? The purple, look at all the liquidity in purple. This has all the power. You want to break this. You don't want to break this. Doesn't mean anything. What does this mean? You want to break this for puts all the way down here on purple. The entry's purple. I don't know how. You're gonna have to write it down. If you need to write it down or something, you have to write it down because it's. I said it. I can rewind the tape. Build an orange, break a purple. For the puts. For calls, it's gonna be building yellow, break this teal. The yellow lines are to show. The yellow lines are to show the intra algo channel, because we need the yellow to get to the teal. The yellow lines are okay. I think I know what the problem. I mean, I think I know what the problem is. I'm not sure, but the entries on purple for puts. I never said. I don't even know where. Okay, and then look in here, you would have had to time this perfect, right? You would have had to time this absolutely perfect for this put if you wanted to try this, and then you're out on yellow. Because if you're buying puts and yellow is your down, then you know out of yellow because that should be your out because the trend broke. Now, if you're hoping for a rejection inside of yellow, that's something different. I don't, you know, that's different. If that's what you're hoping for. But I specifically said, if you're willing to take the risk from here to here, that's on you. You got to be able to measure risk to reward. That literally happened. Everything I just said would happen. Everything I just said would happen. So it's purple, Ron. It's not yellow. Here, I'm gonna block the YouTube really quick. Give me a second. Stay on. I'm gonna mute the YouTube. Hold on. YouTube, that's been my time. I have to get out of here. If you're interested in learning how to trade like this, send me an email, LiveSPYTrading@gmail.com, and I'll get you sorted out. Have a good day.